Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies. Each episode we talk about a particular movie, and in this case, we'll get to that in a little bit, as usual. But if you want to join in on the fan vote and suggest movies for that, they happen during Tay's episode. And we always do about 4 at a time. And if you want to recommend a movie for us, either leave a comment on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z on YouTube, or send us an email at filmfreaks with a Z at the end at gmail.com, or talk in the Ferret Nation Discord, link down in the description below in the movie stuff section, and also recommend stuff there. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we talk about this movie. I am the Iron Ferret, and I'm here with
The Giant Waffles.
Captain Tay? Was he a captain, the military guy? I don't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure the general.
Well, no, there was
General.
a general, but he was like a major, I think, or something. I don't remember. But that's me. I'm Tay.
I'm Ray the Giant.
All right.
How are we all doing today?
Doing
Can't
good.
complain.
Finally warming up
Doing
a little
alright.
bit.
My back
Yeah.
really hurts, but other than that, I'm okay.
So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good myself. We're recording this a bit after what happened, but I was voted best blue hair of 2024.
I'm so proud of
Oh.
you.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
that blue hair man.
Congratulations.
I think I voted for you.
This is the
Let's
best
go.
day of my life so far.
Who
Just-
who would you like to thank?
Oh, I already thanked everyone I needed to, but I would like to thank all three of you for supporting me through this journey.
Always here for you.
Yeah, exactly. Do what I can.
All right. Well,
Anyways.
Greedy Waffles, you suggested a movie for yourself. What'd you pick?
Oh, yes. Do I have to rate it myself, too? Like,
Yes.
was it a good record? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The movie I recommended is The Iron Giant from 1999. Is directed by Brad Bird. Some writers are Tim McConley's, Brad Bird, and Tom Hughes. What's it about? A young boy befriends a giant robot from outer space that a paranoid government agent wants to destroy. Who are some of the big names in here? All voice actors, of course. Eli Merthenthal, Harry. I'm gonna butcher a lot of these names. Harry Connick, Jennifer Aniston, Vin Diesel, James Gammon, Christopher McDonald. Lots of big names. So where should we start this off? I really enjoyed this movie. I will mention that right now. I thought it was a really great movie. I want to just start off, I guess, with the animation and all that. Like, what do you guys think? Like compared to The Mummy from last week.
I kind of want to start off in saying this isn't really a kids movie.
Yeah. I disagree with that. I think it is.
Well, with like the alcohol mentions and they curse quite a bit.
Did they?
They did. Yeah, that's like one of the first things I noticed.
Well, that was the 90s PG for you.
That is true. That is absolutely factual because like Stuart Little had a curse word in it, which I said when I was younger, and that got me locked in a hot car.
Oh, geez,
So
that's not. That's not.
90s
acceptable punishment.
parenting.
I know.
It hit different.
Anyway, love the animation style of this movie. I think
Yeah,
they
no.
did an incredible job.
Yeah, the animation was good. It was very good.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you want us to compare it to the Mummy, but yeah, this cells style animation isn't really used anymore, and it's so
Which is a
nice.
shame.
It's always looked
Yeah.
so good.
It's a shame that they don't. Studios don't do it as much. But they like their 3D.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my
they did
sister's
great. I mean,
kids. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go
Ray
first.
Ray is very excited to talk about this movie. I can tell.
I'm sorry. I love this movie.
It's a good movie.
I was just gonna say, like, my sister's kids, they're ages 9 and 7, and they prefer the 3D style. And I think that's just because that's what they're growing up with. And like all of us obviously grew up with more of the 2D style. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sad.
I mean, maybe once they're older, they'll realize, like, oh, yeah, that Lion King actually looks a lot better than the Lion King from 2019. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I guess it is. Well, I mean, because I grew up with both, like, because Toy Story came out in '99 too, right?
Yeah.
I did grow up
95.
with both, but I did watch more of the older styles because my sister is, she's older than me, so we had a lot of like Aladdin and stuff like that, Fern Gully on VHS. So I did grow up with
Oh,
the
yeah.
2D, but I kind of grew up. I guess we kind of all grew up with along with the 3D style. We've seen it go
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
terrible to good or great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like don't get me wrong, I like 3D. It when done well. I have seen like that new Spider-Man movie coming out, whatever. Like they tried to make it look like a comic book. It just looks bad. It looks so bad.
No, those are great movies.
no, you're
No,
not thinking
No,
of the
the new Disney cartoon Spider-Man cartoon coming
he's
out.
not talking about Into the Spider-Verse or anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
no,
like
yeah, no.
Miles
Oh, yeah.
Morales.
No,
The
no.
Miles Morales
No,
ones
no.
look great.
Yeah, those
Okay,
are
I was
great.
about to fight you, to be fair.
Oh yeah, no.
Those
I
are
would-
excellent.
I
I mean, yeah,
deserved
he's
to be-
talking about that. No, I'm kidding.
I would have deserved.
Come here,
to be
Tay.
fought. No, it's just like they just, I don't know the style where they try to make it look like a
Well,
like a
yeah,
comic
it-
strip. I don't know. It looks
That's what
bad.
it's got the very bold lines and it's kind of cell shaded almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And I have no interest in watching it just because I watched that trailer that was on Twitter and I was like, yep, well this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Well, even like the new redone Tom and Jerry stuff, that just looks awful.
There's
I
new
think.
Tom and Jerry stuff?
They have like a new movie
Yeah.
coming out like every year now.
Get
Yeah.
out of town. Where
Really?
have I
I thought-
been?
Well,
I thought they just had one,
no,
and it didn't
I know
do
they kind of
good.
redid the series, but trust me, you don't want to watch it.
yeah,
well, I don't, but
I-
I'm curious.
I kind of gave up on the Tom and Jerry stuff after they did like a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Tom and Jerry.
Ugh.
And it was kind of bizarre. Well, it didn't look good. Obviously, it was like a straight to DVD type thing situation. But also,
Yeah.
like, they didn't meld Tom and Jerry in with the story at all. So they just were kind of there at times. But yeah, that's a roundabout way of saying, like, even when I guess if you do 2D sells cheaply, like the Tom and Jerry stuff or whatever, like, you're not going to hold a candle to what the Iron Giant can do, and it's amazing, like, backgrounds and really good
Yeah,
character
about to say,
designs.
everything looks smooth, like nothing like stood out of
Yeah.
place. Besides when the giant was flying around a little bit, that kind of looked a little bit off. But
That in his eyes sometimes, like when they were starting to glow again, or switching from white to red, I noticed I was like, oh, that looks almost a little too realistic. But I completely forgot about it after that. So.
I didn't even notice. So
Yeah, I was
Yeah, I
I didn't
didn't
notice
notice.
anything like that.
you have the.
Well,
One
maybe
thing I
you
did
guys should pay
notice-
attention.
Well,
Yeah.
I was looking deeply into the Iron Giant's eyes almost 24/7. So
Yeah.
thank you very
My
much.
bad. My bad. My bad.
well, speaking of the eyes, like the one thing I was really impressed is with there was a scene where they were kind of laying down and boy was talking to the giant. It was dark, and every time the giant blinked, like the light, like because his eyes were the only like source
Yeah.
of light.
Yeah.
So like it'll get dark for a second, and I was just like, "Damn, that's actually really good attention to detail."
Yeah.
'Cause
you
I
can
feel like
tell.
I can
they put a lot
like
of
some
that.
of these newer movies. I'd feel like wouldn't you do that still? Just
Mm-mm.
blinks and there's no lighting effect.
Yeah, there were a couple.
They put a
scenes
lot
like
of
that.
detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. Beautifully.
Beautifully.
Beautifully. Get it?
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I used to have like a little toy of the Iron Giant when I was a kid. I think it came in like a cereal box or something like that. And I was when I first got it, I was like, "Oh, can it transform into the death robot?" Like that's the first thing I thought of, and no, it couldn't do that, but
Of course.
You're trying to change its eyes.
Wah, wah.
it's still a fun little thing.
Well, did you try pointing the gun at it? I'm kidding.
You know what? I didn't. Maybe I don't know, actually.
I wouldn't put it past you.
One of my favorite sequences in this movie is when Hogarth is like gearing up the trek outside into the forest. And he puts his helmet on. He tapes the flashlight to his BB gun and puts on his coat, the boots and stuff. And I always love that sequence. It's a very nice animated.
We all did that as a kid.
Oh yeah. It also reminded me of like suiting up to go outside and play pretend.
It's very fluid.
Yeah, and then he marches into the forest
Yeah.
and it kind of like pans up. Very cool. And another scene that also always like made me awestruck was the one where he's going through that forest, same forest, and like all the trees are kind of like broken and whatever, and then the camera pans up and you can see like, oh well, you know, the almost like the silhouette, I guess, of the Iron Giant who already had walked through there. It's a very cool moment in the movie, very nice moment.
Yeah. I like there was this very small detail for like 2 seconds. The helmet he wears is his dad's helmet. He was a pilot in World War II. And guessing
That's cool.
he probably didn't make it.
Well, I don't know, because this movie takes place in 1957, and Hogarth is obviously like was he like 10 years old? So he would have to have been born in 47. So
and he may have not been a World War II pilot. He just may have been a test pilot. There's just like shot.
He's 9 years old. Hogarth is 9 years old.
Yeah, there's just a shot of his dad like climbing into a plane, and he's wearing that helmet. Or a photo on Hogarth's nightstand. And
I don't think the mom was around because she was going after that one guy. What was his name?
Dean.
Dean, yes.
Yeah, the dad's definitely not in the picture anymore, and my guess is it's because he died.
Well, yeah, probably.
Which is sad.
If he still has pictures of his dad in his bedroom, because if it was like a divorce, you would figure probably the mom would take all those,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad. I found it very interesting that they named him Hogarth. Like, so I looked it up. I looked up what that means, and the first thing that came up was a Reddit thing, and it said the Iron Giant, the main character's name is Hogarth, and this is because Hogarth is the stupidest fucking name anyone has ever come up with, and I thought that was hilarious.
That is.
But then I looked further into it, and it means like a high natured character. Like, so I'm like, okay, like he's really energetic, he's really curious, he loves exploring. So I'm like, it does kind of fit him. But I just thought that was like a fun fact for you guys.
Well, it's funny because Kent, when he's like in his car, he's like, "Who names a kid Hogarth? Like, what? Hogarth?"
Mhm.
So they almost like, I guess, break the fourth wall in that sense, where it's like, I don't know who does name a kid Hogarth. I mean,
Right.
I've never heard that name other than this movie, so- unless someone got named after this movie. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up like after the first scene because I forgot the kid's name, and then his mom says it. I was like, oh yeah, why?
That's a weird name. It is a very weird name.
Yeah,
unique.
but a fitting one. Yeah.
Unique name.
Hogarth Hughes, right? H.
Yeah, you. Yep.
Yeah.
Since we're on the characters, what do you guys think of each character? And I think they all portray well, and Kent does a good job of making everyone hate him.
Yeah.
I think all the voice acting was good. I think, just they each had their own personality. I think that was good.
Yeah. The guy
Yeah.
that got to do the voice for Kent, it's
Christopher McDonald.
Yeah, it's Shooter McGavin. So, he's really good at making people hate him.
Was he Shooter McGavin around this time or before? Was that early?
That was 96, so it was before.
Yeah. So he just got that hate, like you hate him. You just love to hate
Yeah,
him.
and you hate him in Happy Gilmore too. So he
Yeah,
does a pretty good job of it.
He's good at that character type.
Yeah, I think they might have went a bit Like, obviously doesn't take away from the movie at all, but I think they went a little bit too far with like making him hateable. It was just too easy to hate him. Especially like they immediately show him as like some, higher than thou kind of character, right? Who's like, I'm with the FBI, you all are scum underneath me. And then his car gets eaten, and you're like, okay, all right, is he gonna like change a little bit? Is he gonna like not be an asshole? But nope, he's just an asshole, and he, he almost kills a kid. So,
Yeah. That was quite shocking. He's like, oh, you killed the kid, and then he just to kill the robot.
yeah, what does he have against the robot? Just because he ate his car.
Ate his car. Ate his car. You'd be mad too.
I'd be mad, but I mean,
Not destroy a whole town.
once you get to
over it.
know the Iron Giant, like he's not that bad of a guy.
He's not. He's a good guy.
Cute little cuddly guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy, and it's his birthday.
He's
Little?
just a baby.
Yeah.
He's a.
Just
I
a
would.
little
I would say
guy.
he's a big baby.
No, he's just a little guy. I kid. He is a big guy. He's a very big guy.
super big.
He's Superman.
Aw, he is super.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, what do you guys think about like the line deliveries? You can, or what was it? You choose what you want to be. That's a great line. And then I'm Superman. Those are always emotionally good.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway is you are who you want to be, or well, how was it exactly? Yeah, it's like that, right?
It's so,
I think so.
It's so memorable
Like that.
that neither of us can look it up or think about it right now.
Well, I watched it 2 days ago. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I watched it, I think, 2 days ago as well. Saturday night. Or did I watch it? I watched it Sunday.
But it's
Yeah, I watched it yesterday and I still don't remember. My bad.
I guess it's not as memorable then.
No, like I know what you're talking about though, and it's a good message, especially for children.
Guns
Okay,
bad,
so-
guns kill.
My first time watching this was as an adult. Okay, it was
92.
like 3
Really?
years ago. And when I tell you, I sobbed at the end when like he starts coming back together and Hogarth is just like, see you soon, like whatever. Like you're telling me that somebody that had to grow up watching like Toy Story and Land Before Time and The Lion King and Finding Nemo, where all these characters die and you never get to see them again, like kind of leaves you with it, honest to God, left me with a little bit of separation anxiety. Like everything's just gonna go away. And then you get this movie, and at the end he's like away, but he's still with him in a way. And like my inner child was healed. I sobbed forever, and I was very appreciative of the way they went with this. I would love to kiss whoever came up with that ending.
Yeah, but we never
Bradford.
got a second movie, did we?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
Well,
it ended.
still
in a
leaving
good-
us hanging.
They better not, though. They
It
better
ended
not.
in a really good way, though. You don't need a second movie.
yeah.
I swear, if they try to live action this shit, I
I
will
Well-
riot.
It's WB, and they haven't done anything like that yet, so
I know, and I'm scared. They better not mess with
I don't
my
think
Iron
they will.
Giant.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It does
I don't
seem like, well, no, because Iron Giant was in multiverses, so they definitely remember that they have the character rights. And he
Yeah.
also showed up in that Space Jam movie,
Yeah,
That's
that's what they
terrible,
said in Space
awful-
Jam.
Space Jam movie. So they remember that they have him, but I think they kind of use him as just like a backup. Like, how can we like hit the heartstrings of our audience? The Iron Giant. And it's
like
funny
Marvel's
because
Hulk,
it's like what?
Marvel's Hulk, like the people want another movie, but they won't give it to you.
Oh,
Well, that's 'cause they don't own the rights.
That's a bit of a different scenario, but it's funny because the one movie where the Iron Giant probably should have been in was Ready Player One. They did not put him in that movie.
I thought he
And-
was in that movie.
Was he?
I thought he was.
Oh my god. Am I misremembering? My whole point's about to be destroyed right now. Oh yeah, he is in there.
Well,
All right, well,
so what were you saying, Yemmy?
well, because in the book, the one character like uses the Iron Giant as their main mode of transportation. Like that's how they get around. H, I think his name was, or her name was, and I think he was more of like a background role in the movie. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't think
Maybe
he
they
was.
don't know
Yeah.
what to do with them.
well, yeah, I mean, the book obviously flushes everything out more than that movie did, but maybe they could only like get a little bit of the rights. Like, oh, you can use it for a little bit of the movie, not the whole thing. I don't know. But I guess my point would have been like that would have been the one time where it's like, okay, that makes sense for the Iron Giant to be there because he's written into the story. But then he wasn't written into the story. Well, I mean, he's written into the story in the book, but in the movie, I remember he is in there, but I don't think they used him as much as the book did.
Yeah, I don't think they did either.
I've never read the book
I haven't
or
either.
seen the
but
movie.
I'm just going off vibes.
Yeah, you don't need this. You don't need to watch the movie, but the book is good. Like the first, there's a Ready Player 2, not good. Ready Player 1, good. But yeah, I guess that's just a roundabout way of saying like WB only uses him for like cameos now. But then again, he doesn't also. I don't think we need an Iron Giant 2 or a TV series or a modern take on it. I think that this 99 version is perfect in the the way it is, and it should be it should stay that way. Like I don't think we need like a 2025 remake where they make it modern
God, no.
and they
Yeah.
use a bunch of
That'll be
modern
bad.
stuff in there. Like no, I think it works for the time period of the 50s is perfect, and because you can use like the Red Scare, you can use like this beginning of the space age, right? You can use all this stuff that isn't really around nowadays. Like there's no Red Scare now. There's we've been to space. There's people living in space right now. Like who cares? But in the 50s, like you tell a person from the 50s that there's like 10 people living in space right now, their fucking eyeballs would melt. Like yeah, it's one of those things where it's like
No yell witchcraft.
it just works perfectly with this setting, and I feel like if they tried to modernize this or bring it back, it just wouldn't work as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if done right, you could easily
won't,
make this into a live action film. They wouldn't, of course, they wouldn't do it right or do it justice, but it could be done decently because it's a good story, and you would just, as long as you keep the setting and everything the same, it could be okay. I don't
have
think
no
they
faith
should.
in anything
I
that's
yeah,
made or
I mean, I wouldn't have faith in them picking like the right child actor for it either. Like
True.
the guy who did the voice for Hogarth was so good, and I just looked it up, and he was the same guy from American Pie, so it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy how his journey, his
Well.
career went.
He was
But-
Stifler's younger brother.
And he was also the kid in Country Bears, I think, right?
Shut
I mean,
up. That was
I
not
country
him.
bears.
I thought I only saw this movie and like the Stifler's brother in like the first two American Pie movies, and that was like all he had done.
Hold
No,
on, let me.
he was also the kid in Jack Frost.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
What
I'm looking
the
at it right.
heck?
He was Spencer in Jack Frost, and he was Dex in Country Bears.
He was the love interest in Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen too. Oh my gosh.
What a career.
Well, he stopped acting.
He's
It
done great.
It looks like he stopped acting after the early 2000s, but yeah, he was in some movies, some big ones.
He was in a Dolly Parton movie.
But yeah, that roundabout way of saying I don't think they would I don't think they would cast the right kid for this role because you really need a kid who can act, and
Yeah.
obviously they would if you did do like a live action version, they would be acting against probably green screen, right? So you would
Yeah.
really need a good kid actor because Hogarth is like the main protagonist in the entire movie. Like sure, the Iron Giant's there
Yeah.
and Dean's there and his mom's kind of there, but he is the main focal point of the movie. You see it through his lens through most of it, and to have like them do a live action version and just kind of like, put whatever popular kid actor in the role, I just don't think it would work at all.
No.
I would be very cautious if they announced like tomorrow, like, and here is the latest, the new version of Iron Giant 2026. It's coming out, and we
Because
cast.
of Film Freaks, we noticed it's picked up in popularity again.
Yeah, there was a skyrocket of popularity in February of 2025. So
It's all our fault, guys, and I'm sorry.
but yeah, I think we're all in agreement. I don't think it would work, a newer version of this.
Nope.
I also feel like this movie's so underrated too. Like people will be like, "What's the Iron Giant?" These day and age, like these kids that would be tailored to. They'll be like, "What's the Iron Giant, Mom?"
Well, I'm gonna read this one review from a guy named B. Mary. He said, "I watched this movie with my 6-year-old son. The movie ended, total silence, and he whispered, 'That was awesome.'" So some parents are doing it right, I guess.
Good.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
out
you
of
better.
60 million, right? Billion, trillion.
My God, yeah, trillion, damn. I think the Earth has like 1 billion people on it right now.
But the Earth has 7 billion
Exaggerated.
people.
Oh, 7 billion.
Yeah.
1 billion. I don't. Where did I hear that one?
Like it's 1 billion just in the U.S. I
There,
think.
that's probably it. I didn't know that Jennifer Aniston was
I
the
didn't
mom.
either until
Me
until I looked this
neither.
up.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
so dope.
that was a bit of a revelation. I was like, what?
Yeah. Second I saw it,
When
I was
I
like,
announce it,
okay,
you guys
yep.
are like, "Who's
I
that?
can hear it.
Who is she?"
I didn't remember you saying her name, like at all when you were reading off stuff.
Yeah, he said her name.
Yeah,
Case is not
I'm
listening to
no,
me.
I'm sure he did. I didn't.
well, I didn't
He's
remember
like,
either.
"Oh,
So.
Grady's still here."
You said greedy who? I don't know.
Yeah. What? Who's
He's
this
like, "Grady's still
greedy?
here. We're not in season 4 yet. Come on."
Yeah, I didn't remember either. So I'll back Tay up. It was
Thank you.
Oh, 2v2.
it was the end of the
It's
podcast,
okay, Grady, I got you.
and we both were just like, all right.
I'm ready.
Oh no, he said it in the beginning of the podcast, too.
Yeah.
Well,
And I said it last week too. Or,
Well, no,
no,
yeah,
no,
I'm
no, no.
talking about last
I
week.
realized it was Jennifer Aniston after I watched the movie, which was like Saturday. So
Yeah.
I just don't.
No, it
I didn't remember
was-
him saying it was Jennifer Aniston when we did the last episode with the mummy. At the end of that episode, I didn't
Gotcha.
remember him saying it.
Yeah. Same.
He obviously did. I'm just saying I didn't remember. It just went over me. It went over my mind while he was reading the names off.
Yep.
And it's tough to follow up Eli Marienthal because you're kind of like thinking of that name and you move on to Jennifer Aniston and you just kind of like are still thinking about that name.
I said Jennifer Aniston after like my 4th time in, so you guys are probably zoning out by then.
Like, when is this guy gonna shut up? Come on.
Seriously.
Like I said, Tay's like, "This guy's still on."
Yeah. Didn't you leave already, or am I misremembering?
Wait a minute. Are you callous?
Yeah, I'm about to say Tay's gonna call me or callous Grady one day.
Are we revealing that already?
That'll be a secret for whoever's watching this episode.
Oh.
Well,
So let's not make a big deal about it. Hey,
Hey, well, anyways.
so
Iron
let
Giant.
me talk about the story that I was gonna say from last episode.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Because this movie got me in a lot of trouble. And funny enough, it's almost like Ray's story. So it's almost
Let's go.
it's very strange. So I used to be such a big fan of this movie. I had like lots of scenes memorized by heart, and while rewatching the movie, I was like, "Oh yeah, here comes the big, this line or whatever." And there was one part where he's eating the milkshake, which one of the most delicious looking milkshakes in movie history, and he's talking to Hogarth about his security and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I thought now they might have changed this because I clearly remember him saying, It's not about your goddamn security, Hogarth. I remember him saying goddamn, And I think they might have changed it for the Disney Plus version. I don't know if they re-recorded it or whatever. I don't know. That's my memory, and it might be one of those memories that's like fake, false, but it's just I remember it that way because that's how I heard it when I was a kid. And he said "gosh darn" when he did it this time. I was very much listening because of this story, and so I was just kind of like, doing the line from the movie, like acting it out loud, and I said "God damn security, Hogarth," and I got severely punished for that one, soap in the mouth, and
Ew.
yeah, I was sent to my room. Obviously, my parents still let me watch the movie, but they never they never corrected me
But at
either.
what cost?
Which is why I remember my parents had this on VHS, and I swear to you, it originally said "God damn," but it didn't this time. So once again, it's one of those memories that like is just kind of like, well, did he? Wait, why did I hear it? Why did I hear "God damn" when I was a kid? Maybe I didn't know what he was saying, so I just assumed it was "God." I don't know, but either way, I got in trouble for saying it. So
This Yemmy's Mandela effect.
well, yeah, probably. But because I remember very clearly him doing like the Sputnik thing, like, oh, it's orbiting around us, boop, boop, boop. And then Hogarth says something, and then Kent's like, it's not about the goddamn security. But he says, gosh darn. So I don't know why I remembered it that way, but yeah, it's probably the Mandela effect. And it's been corrected in my mind, and now, of course, he said, gosh darn. But
Gosh darn it, Hogarth.
yeah. For the rest of my life, though, I will think of it as goddamn. Because that's what I heard when I was a kid.
Have we done any Googling? Seeing if
I am right now.
Anybody else agrees with you?
Well, I don't know. The VHS version of this movie is probably lost forever. So, because I mean, I know
Gosh darn now.
they probably. I mean, if it was goddamn back in the day, I don't know why they would update it. So I think it's
Disney
well,
Plus?
I misspoke. It was on Amazon Prime. It wasn't on Disney Plus. But yeah, I don't think they would have updated it. I think it's just my false memory, or when I was a kid, just hearing the wrong thing.
You just had a dirty mind as a young kid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really didn't start swearing until I was like 13, and I watched this movie when I was like 8, 9. So
Yemmy's
Maybe a
such
little
a
bit of-
rebel.
oh yeah, I mean, look, you go from like going to a private school at a church to going to a public school in your town, and you just get kind of whiplash from like the kids are saying these crazy things, and I learned all my swear words from like my first year in elementary school, and then by the time it was like 6th grade, I was saying them on the playground all the time. So it's one of those things where you're a kid and you learn a new word, and it's like I gotta use that in every sentence. And one of the oldest well, it's not oldest, but one of the memories I have is like my friends were going down a slide. It was one of those spiral the slides that twist, so it was covered, and they stopped midway through. And I remember like it's the first time that I actually like said a swear word in like a mean way, and it just felt so good. Like I got goosebumps. I was like, move, you asshole. And from then on, it's just I've been a swearing machine.
Yeah.
You dirty sailor, you.
Well, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
What's it says it won one BAFTA award. What's that?
A BAFTA. That's a British Academy
BAFTA.
Awards or something like that.
Something like
That's
that.
20 wins though.
It's a good one. That's a good one to win, BAFTA.
Yeah.
I don't think the Oscars were doing animated movie. Well, I guess Toys wasn't Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
Beauty Beast was nominated.
definitely. Yeah.
I don't, but they didn't like start like a animated movie category until like the early 2000s. Because Shrek was the first movie ever to win an Oscar, an animated movie to win the animated movie Oscars. So it wasn't until Shrek, which I think was 2001, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Something like that. It had some stiff competition. Shrek was up against Monsters, Inc. And honestly, that's a tough choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very tough.
It's a very tough.
So I found it on a Warner Brothers wiki, and they changed it to Gold Darned. So I'm pretty sure you're right.
Folks, it's not the Mandela effect. Oh, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Well, not about this.
Not about that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's okay. So when I was a kid, I did hear it right. Goddamn, that's not about your goddamn security, Hogarth.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's about your goddamn security. Yeah. Wow.
I'm
Okay.
talking about your
It-
gosh darn security.
I don't have the movie memorized anymore. I
Gosh darn it.
apologize. That's
Shame.
awesome. Okay, that's great though. I'm glad that you looked that up because now I feel better. Because I was losing my mind. I was like, because when I was watching the movie, I was waiting for it. I was like, this is it. This is the line that I said, and it was different. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a gold darn second.
Right. Aw, skeet, skeet, gosh darn.
So yeah, they must have changed that when the new rating system came out. Because I mean, when did PG-13? We talked about this before. When did PG-13 come around?
I thought in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, I'm about to say PG-13 was 30, right?
84. So I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure why they didn't put this as a PG-13. Honestly,
How many swear words?
guns, explosions, people dying. Well, they didn't show it, but people dying,
Yeah.
swearing.
Because PG is worse than PG-13, right?
No.
No,
Or no? No?
Because
Okay.
PG is for-
PG-13.
So you have G for general audiences, which is like anyone could watch it. PG is for like parental guidance, so it's like most young adults and kids would be able to watch it, but use your discretion. PG-13 is for like 13 and older, and of course R-rated is for 18 plus.
Okay.
We
Wasn't
had-
there a PG-14 at one point?
You're
Was
probably
there?
Something like that?
well, you're probably thinking of
I-
Peggy, which is the
Yeah.
European version.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I was about to say.
Because like the Europeans, like they like do like every age bracket. Like this one is for 15 and up. This one's for 16 and up. This one's for, I think they do it that way because there's a lot of different like ratings for stuff.
This is for 65 and up. What?
Yeah, you can only watch this one if you're 60. What? Why? Well, I guess you have to wait to find out.
Are you an AARP
Please.
member? No, get out of here.
And this movie you can only watch if you're 5 or younger. So
Nah.
yeah,
I'd hope.
that's that. What'd y'all think of Vin Diesel? Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel does his growly.
Yeah, I was about to say, what did he say? He barely
He had more lines than I remembered him having, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
He spoke
agree.
quite a lot, especially towards the end because the Iron Giant started learning English. So,
Yeah.
but it's crazy. In 1998, he did Saving Private Ryan, and then 99 Iron Giant, and then his next movie I think was The Fast and the Furious. So he had quite the wild 3 years there.
Wait, when did the first Fast and Furious come out?
That was 2001.
Oh, wow. I was thinking that came out way.
Oh, and
later.
he did Pitch Black before
Yeah, I'll say
Fast
because
and
he did
Furious.
Pitch
So
Black.
Yeah.
he had a
Pitch
crazy
Black,
he had a
Chronicles of
crazy like
Riddick.
4 years right there. And then in 2002 he did XXX. So
Yeah, I was say he was all over the place.
oh, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
What's that, Expendable? That was way later, right? The
Expendables was like
series.
20, was that 2010s, 2011s?
12s, yeah, okay.
But yeah, he goes from super serious war drama to, kids movie to sci-fi epic to what would you call Fast and Furious drama, action drama,
Action drama, yeah.
like kind of a crazy how much range he used to have. Now he's just he's either Groot or he's fucking Dominic Toretto. You know? There's no in between.
Sad times.
I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah, I know.
He's still complaining that The Rock isn't in the Fast and Furious franchise anymore. Like he's still butthurt about that. Oh, we won't make as much money without Dwayne. Are you sure about that? But yeah, I mean, I thought that Vin, for what it's worth, did a good job as the Iron Giant. I mean, obviously he didn't really sound like himself for most of it, but it's kind of like his role as Groot. It's like you can tell it's Vin Diesel sometimes, but they also put the effects on his voice and stuff like that, especially when he's Baby Groot. They gotta make his voice sound teeny tiny miniature Vin Diesel. So
No, I'm pretty sure that's just his actual voice.
I wish. With the build he has, I would love to him just to have the Baby Groot voice 24/7.
Me too.
Hey, you never know.
I am Groot. Hey guys,
I know someone like that.
it's me,
He's
Dominic Toretto. Want to go racing?
We gotta go fast.
Woohoo!
Hey y'all,
Imagine that voice with like things in the Expendables.
I'm gonna
This
kill.
action-packed movie.
I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Watch me go.
Now I sound like Mickey.
Oh. Get a little bit of Goofy in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God.
Gorsh. Gorsh, we gotta go fast. Outrun this train.
Gonna hook you up.
Oh boy. All right.
So,
I guess one. Yeah, go ahead.
oh, okay. I was saying we're all in agreement, right? That the Iron Giant was sent to Earth to destroy it, and it was like a Goku situation where since he bumped his head, he was like, "Oh, never mind. I'm good now."
But his default form is passive.
Yeah, but you don't send you don't send that much firepower unless you're planning on taking advantage of it, I guess. I
Maybe
don't
it's a
know.
test. Maybe the aliens send him to Earth
Oh,
because it's like a test. Like if
maybe.
they point a gun at you, take them all out. But if they accept you,
they're-
or if
yeah,
they're
if
like
they're good
accept good
guys.
people. Yeah, I mean, obviously the bump on the head did something because he didn't really. Obviously the bump fixed itself when he transformed. So maybe something got
Yeah,
pushed
but it
into the wrong
fixed.
place, right? But I do feel like he could de-transform. So I feel like he is passive mode for the most part. And I'm kind of in the camp of he was sent here to judge, judge and see if
Judge humanity.
if aliens should contact humanity, right?
Mm.
And through
fair.
the actions of the U.S. government, probably not gonna the aliens probably gonna be like, yeah, they tried to destroy a town with a nuke. I don't know about this
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah, we ain't fucking with that shit.
These guys are the
We out.
worst.
They want to
Uh,
kill each other. We're out.
But yeah, I mean the Goku situation is also viable as well, of course.
yeah. Yeah.
You are who you choose to be.
There
Exactly.
you go.
And I do like how they parallel it with the Superman, because Superman was,
Yeah.
all powerful being, crash lands on Earth, right?
Yeah.
And he, slowly gets his powers. And kind of the same thing happens with the Iron Giant, where he starts off just kind of waltzing around, running around, and all of a sudden he can fly and he can shoot guns, and he kind of powers up
Yeah.
as he stays on Earth, right? Kind of like how Superman powers.
Then he went into
powered
his
up to-
alien form at the end.
Right. He went full psycho.
We want fool fuck around and find out.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The soundtrack is also gorgeous in this movie. An incredible
Yeah.
soundtrack to it.
I didn't really notice it.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to it, I guess, because I didn't.
Watch it again.
I don't want to. I mean, I would watch it again, but
Not like it's a long movie. It's only what, an
Yeah.
hour?
Well, yeah, it's like an hour 20 something.
Yeah, I think it's like an hour and a half, or well, maybe like an hour 20, not including credits.
Hour and 26 minutes. So probably an hour 15 minutes then.
Something like that. Quick watch, fun watch, emotional watch, all the different things.
yeah.
They pack so much into the time. It's crazy that now, the base minimum for a movie is I feel like an hour 30 to an hour 40 is the base minimum. And there's so many movies out there that just kind of expand their runtime with useless stuff. I just feel when you get down to it, it's this is a perfect length for this movie. And even though most animated movies aren't too much longer, they do feel a bit bloated at times because they add in some. They just kind of have a little fluff in there, right? And I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you're pushing 2 hours with an animated movie like some of these ones did, I don't know, Like fucking Lightyear. Like, why was that movie
Yeah.
almost 2 hours long? Like, that could have ended like in 5 minutes as a short, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
I never seen it, so I don't want to watch
Yeah,
it.
I didn't see it either.
Nope.
It didn't look like it was going to be good, anyways.
All right, I
It
know-
wasn't like great, but it wasn't terrible. Like
Oh.
it was.
I disagree. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was
It was
awful.
boring.
But
That's
the
terrible then.
The twist, terrible. The whole
Well, yeah.
the whole story,
I mean-
awful. If I was Andy and I was watching that movie, and I think I've said this before,
Mhm.
I would not like Buzz Lightyear. It was a terrible, slowly paced, just
Yeah.
It was just bad all around. It was just so bad. And I think, well, I don't want to say that, but they could have done a Woody movie, and it might have been better if they did like an old
I
Western Woody
agree.
movie. You know, man.
That'd be cool.
Like, you're telling
For
me
it.
that the kid gave up on the Woody doll because this Buzz Lightyear movie was so cool? Like, no, it wasn't cool at all. Old West stuff. Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, I like both, but you know, like if I was a kid and I watched that Buzz Lightyear movie, I would have been like, wow, good thing I have all this Woody stuff, because this sci-fi shit stank.
Honestly, like the series, the Buzz Lightyear series, like the animated, would have piqued my
Yes.
interest and want a Buzz toy.
Yeah. The Buzz Lightyear cartoon series, awesome.
Amazing.
Love that. Movie. The game. I get the Buzz Lightyear video game that was based on the anime show wasn't that great. But that's besides the point. Who here remembers the Toy Story 2 video game? That was a banger, huh?
I
Yeah.
want to say
You
yes,
sure?
I remember it, but
That was great.
That's in my memory then. It's on the PlayStation Retro selection. Anyway, we're off track.
add it to your backlog, and you'll let you play it.
I played it when I was a kid a ton of times. That was like one of my main jams.
Well, that was when you were a kid. Play it now on stream.
I don't know. It seems like one of those games that you should be left in your past, you know?
Yeah, left in your past. But what if it was as good as
Uh-huh.
Over the
Good
Hedge?
memory.
There you go.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll fuck around and find out. Who knows? You twisted my arm. Well, anyway.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Does anyone have any negatives for the movie? Speak now or forever
yeah.
hold your peace.
Kent being too much of an
Yeah,
asshole.
I'll say Kent would probably be my only negative, and like you need him. You definitely need him.
Yeah,
But
definitely did.
Yeah.
I'll also say, it seemed like the ending kind of sped up really quick. Like, we went from the giant hiding to the barn to him being, quote unquote, attacking the city in like 5 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was-
not 5 seconds, but it was like within like a couple scenes. It was like, whoa, all right. And then everyone was like, love with the giant now. I was like, all right, this is a little quick.
He saved those kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it obviously transitions very quickly to like the army stuff, because immediately when the army leaves Dean's scrapyard, like Hogarth, what he like wait 5 minutes and then start playing with the Iron Giant? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, obviously it's a plot, you know, it moves the plot a bit, but I feel like, I mean, especially Dean would have been like, hey, we should probably wait until the army's like out of state to start doing
Yeah.
stuff again. But yeah, it just kind of boggles my mind that like the army was like still only like 10 minutes away or something, and they had all these like tanks too, like just kind of show up, like they were already there. It's like, why didn't you just wait for them to pull out and just wait like a day or two? Like that's all you need.
yeah,
But
I felt like that
it was
robot
so
ran a lot farther
happy.
than it did.
well, I mean, Maine's a decently sized state.
I guess.
yeah.
But yeah, it just seemed like everything, you put it in a better perspective. Like, the military shows up and it's just like, all right, we're killing this thing now, real quick. But then again, to combat it, I would not rather it be dragged out. Not rather, oh, now they're hanging out. So I don't know. Go ahead.
I feel like they could have gone, like, instead of doing the whole like Iron Giant in disguise bit, they honestly could have just gone like Hogarth playing with him in the scrapyard. He pulls out the fake gun and tries, and the army's like, their army's already there, and Kent's already like getting the army there, right? But instead of having the army come and get duped and then leave, they could have just skipped that and just went straight to like the Iron Giant gets, Dean tells him to go away, you freak, right? And the army, is already there, so it's not as absurd as the whole army like leaving and then Hogarth starts playing with him like 5 minutes later, right? I think they could have skipped the whole like duping the army people. I mean, obviously they needed a little bit more run time for the movie, so it's not a detriment to it, but it might have made the sequence feel a bit more natural if you did it that way.
Yeah.
How creepy was it, Kent watching the kid over all night? It's like, alrighty. And the mom doesn't care. Like, did I miss that part? Like, why didn't the mom care that he was like there?
She was working.
Because she was working.
Oh, he babysit? Okay.
Well, remember he rented the room that they had vacant.
Mm-hmm.
So he moved in. And I guess, people were more trusting in the 50s, obviously. I mean, that's why, his mom let this stranger into their house to rent the room, and that's why she didn't mind that he was going, and hanging out with Dean in the scrapyard, right? People were a lot more trusting, which is like which is why, like, It or something like that is so effective, is because you think about those times and you think about how kids just kind of left and they came back and you didn't know where they were like the whole day. Like, you wouldn't know that they were missing until like a day later or even more. So
those were the
like
days.
my childhood.
You mean like right
Go
now?
outside when the sun is Go outside when the sun is coming up and don't come back until the lights are on.
Yeah. Green and I used to hang out in the forest next to his house for what I felt like hours, like we never told anyone we were going in there, we just kind of hung out.
Yeah. Me and my friends would just go on bike rides like miles away and then, just come back.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but...
I mean, you could, yeah.
At your own risk.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to say at your bigger risk now.
Well, we got cell phones now. You got GPS tracking.
Yeah, but
Hey,
good old grandpa down the road, you never know.
Hey Siri, find my son. Well, all right.
Any other dislikes about the movie?
Honestly, nothing. Well, I love this movie. There was really nothing wrong with it. Just had a few.
Just personally, I didn't watch it sooner.
Yeah, just like a nitpick here and there, but I don't really.
And
I wouldn't really put it against it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Well, ready for our reviews?
Wee.
All right. Take it away, Greedy.
All right. Well, yes, it's a good watch. So I did a good job.
OMG, you have to wait until after the reviews.
So the Iron Giant, it was very, very good. A good watch. Exciting from the moment it started to the end. Great animated and great. Just everything was beautifully done. Attention to detail is phenomenal. Definitely a good childhood movie I remember. And it was a good rewatch, and I'm glad it stayed that way. I still love this movie, still great. I originally had a 4.5, but I'll bump it up to a 5. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yay.
Oh, it's me now.
T-Tay.
Sorry, I was just like sitting here waiting for the next person, going, "Who's next?" I'm next. I agree. I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't see it like Ray, I was not quite an adult. I mean, I was an adult, but like I was like 2 years into college kind of thing. So like, 19, 20.
Fresh
there.
baked adult.
Yeah, a fresh baked adult. And even then I really liked it, and I was like, wow, this was good. Why didn't I watch this sooner? So yeah, I'm going to also, well, I don't know about also, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I love this movie so much. I wish I would have watched this as a child. Probably would have avoided a couple sessions of therapy. But alas, we are here, and this movie is beautiful, and I love it so much, and I give it a 5 out of 5.
Let's go.
Sounds like your cat gives it a 5 out of 5 too.
He does.
Yeah.
He actually did watch it with me too. He loves watching movies, so we enjoyed it.
Did your fiance watch it with you?
No, he's not here.
No.
Wow.
Well, you have to watch it with them again.
Gritty's like, on your wedding night, watch the
On
Iron
your
Giant
wedding night.
with Dot, okay?
No honeymoon, just straight to Iron Man or the Iron Giant.
You know, that sounds like a great alternative. So
Instead of bridal shower, you're just all gonna watch the Iron Giant.
I'm gonna make sure someone gifts me the Iron Giant on both VHS and DVD.
Yes.
All right.
If I find that Iron Giant toy that I used to have, I'll send it to you as a wedding favor.
Perfect. Sounds great.
And instead of like a husband and wife cake topper, Iron Giant.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything better, honestly.
Well,
I
yeah.
know.
I really enjoyed it. Obviously, the ending definitely had me not like the ending, but like when the Iron Giant is like Superman and he sacrifices him. Like, yeah, I was tearing up like throughout the entire like final act of that, or final part of the act there. And it does have a nice happy-ish ending to it, with the Iron Giant reawakening and whatever. I thought the entire movie was just beautifully animated, lots of great cells in there, lots of classic artwork done there, lots of great line delivery and lines in there throughout the entire thing. Some good action at the end with the Iron Giant like decimating the army. The only like nitpick I had was like they probably went a bit too hard with Kent being like the antagonist, because it's kind of absurd how the lengths he goes to. But I didn't put that against it. So yes, I am also giving it the 5 out of 5.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Clean sweep.
You did it,
For my
Greedy.
last movie too.
Woohoo!
You
For my
did it.
very last pick.
All right, now you can say whether it was a good pick or not.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a good pick.
Well, all right.
Well, hopefully I can have a good pick as well.
I am interested in what Tay's going to pick, but first,
Yeah, me too.
we have small recommendations. If anyone has a small recommendation that they would like to give, speak
I have a
now.
question.
Oh, a
Actually,
small
for everybody.
question.
Yeah. Do y'all wash your shins and your feet
Yes.
in the
Yes.
shower? There's a huge debate going on in a group I'm in on Facebook that a lot of people don't wash their shins or their feet in the shower, and that just blew my mind.
Don't tell
I
me
get-
they say like, but it drops down and
Yep.
cleans it for you, right?
Yep,
Oh my
that's
God,
exactly
so
what they
gross.
say.
So that's
Isn't
what they
that
say.
awful?
They probably got the
That's so gross.
stinkiest feet around.
They
Right?
got the fungus feet.
Gross. Well, I hope Slash doesn't hear this because he will throw up. And 2, I'm very glad you guys are sane.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, what's a loofah for?
Exactly.
Scrub your feet, folks. Scrub your shins. There's a small recommendation for you. Wash. Use
Say,
soap.
wash your ass,
Shower
wash
with
your feet.
soap.
Is this the new clean your ass?
Yeah, instead of clean your ass, it's clean your feet.
Just clean everything.
Yes, clean everything.
eventually
you're
be
at it.
clean behind your ears.
Yeah, but don't leave it up to not hydrodynamics, but just don't leave it up to H2O to just get the job done. You gotta put a little scrub in there, you know.
Put a little effort in it.
Well, good recommendation, because I think not enough people do that.
Clearly not enough.
Here's another recommendation that's kind of along the same lines. If you're gonna go to a concert, fucking take
Wear
a shower
deodorant?
and wear
Oh,
deodorant.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, about to say wear
please.
deodorant.
Same with conventions.
Yeah, same
Yes.
with convention. It's been a problem at almost every concert and almost every convention I've gone to. It's just
Yep.
that there's that one person who's like drifting around somewhere and they just smell like they just shit their pants, but they just haven't showered in 2 days or 3 days or whatever. It's like, come on, man. And especially
like
when you're
deodorant.
packed, you're just packed in with other people.
Yeah. That's the worst.
And I get it, you know, it's hot in those in those cramped spaces, and sure, you know, sometimes it's like, oh no, I smell, but people don't like the smell of sweat from just everyone being together is not as bad as having never worn deodorant in your entire life or never have taken a shower in the past week. There's
Right.
a definite difference between those two scenarios where, oh, I'm just sweaty and we've been dancing and whatever at this concert, to, well, I'm sweating on top of the week of grime that I have not washed off since last Sunday.
Gross.
And also, to be fair, some people, like, you may shower, you may put on deodorant in the morning and think, I'm good. Some people just have bad BO and need to put deodorant on like 2 to 3 times a
Twice
day.
a day. Yeah.
Because, like, I had a friend, yeah, they did. They showered and they put deodorant on, but by the afternoon, I'm like, you stink so bad. And they're like, what? I put on deodorant. Like, you could put it on again.
Well, at least you were honest with them.
Yes.
There's so many people who just ignore it and be like, oh yeah, it's fine.
I've heard that there are some like conventions that will have like Speed Stick as a sponsor, and they're there like passing out travel like deodorant
Nice.
sticks.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We need that more often.
I think that was at like a Magic the Gathering thing.
That would not surprise me whatsoever.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to single
Yeah,
anyone
it's-
out, but there's certain places that the stank just really emanates, and you gotta be
And also,
you gotta be
if-
conscious of other people around you.
And if you stink, don't try to layer it over with Body X, please. Like,
Yes.
I
Old
work
Spice.
in healthcare, and I go to patients' room, and sometimes they just smell like Body X, or even BO. Sometimes it's just like the biggest headache. And even when I go to the gym, like if I go at a certain hour, like if I go like after work, which is I get off about 5, whatever, and that's like prime high school, and these kids are just body odor,
Yikes.
Axe, just all in the locker room. I'm just like, you can bring, this will go back to what Tay said. Bring deodorant, put some on after school,
Yep.
It's just so bad. And sometimes you walk in that locker room, and you just get a immediate migraine. You're just like, all right, well, I'm not working out.
Yeah.
And then they just will be like, oh, well, boomer. It's like, no, you
No.
stink. And that's okay. Just take care of it.
They're not even there to work out anymore. So they're just happy hour, pretty much.
Shoot, make some TikToks, pretend you're working out, go home. Yeah, but I'm on my 50th curl now. Wow.
Body X curl. Put Body X up in your armpit.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, don't overdo it either. So.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to mask it with stuff like canned scents and stuff like that, because it just, those things wear off pretty fast too, and then like also it just kind of like layers on top of the BO anyway. So
Is spray deodorant still a thing? Like, I
Yeah.
remember that being a thing at one point. Is it still a thing?
I think it is.
Okay.
That's what
Obviously, I don't use it. Do you use it?
Well, I used to when I was in high school. I used the Axe Ice, the blue canister, and that had deodorant properties in it. But I would wear regular deodorant and then layer on top the Axe. So yeah, I had my bases covered in that aspect. But I do remember, like, I would lay. I was one of those high schoolers who I would spray like for like a whole minute straight across my body. And I felt like every time I got to school, like the smell would already be worn off. Like it would just, I would just smell normal. I was like,
Well,
well,
that's
this is
just
a
Axe
waste
in
of time.
general.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, I stopped using that way before I was a senior in high school. But yeah, just one of those phases that you go through. You gotta smell good because you want to, talk to a girl, and then of
Yeah.
course it's already worn off by the time you talk to them. And they don't even. Most of the time, they don't even care. Like as long as you don't smell terrible, like.
I remember we had shelter in place drills or whatever when I was in junior high school, and I was in gym class, and the shelter in place for gym class was the boys' locker room,
Uh-oh.
and I hated it there. It was
Yeah,
disgusting. It smelled like the mix of puke, toe jam, and Axe. It was
smelled so bad in there.
and we had to hide like where the bathroom was, like where the showers were.
Ugh.
God, I would have rather died. I would just
Mm.
earthquake, tornado, take me out. I don't care. I don't want to be here anymore. That was gross. So, moral of the story: take a damn shower.
Yeah, just take a shower every so often. I mean, you don't have to take one every day, but just take one every so often.
Like every other day, please.
All right. Well, it's time. It's time for the big T, Tay, to give his recommendation. What do you have for Greedy?
Okay. All right. What I got for Greedy? Let me pull it up here. Wasn't prepared.
No, what else is new?
Well, I had the movie picked for quite a while now. It's The Man Who Knew Too Little.
Never heard of it.
It
Me neither.
stars Bill Murray. He's on a mission so secret even he doesn't know about it. Came out in '97, directed by John Emile. Stars Bill Murray, Peter Gallagher, Joanne Whalley, Alfred Molina, Richard Wilson, John Standing, then just a bunch of other people that we probably don't know. But yeah, an American gets ticket for an audience participation game in London, then gets involved in a case of mistaken identity as an international plot unravels around him, and he thinks it's all part of the act. It's a really good movie. I really enjoy this movie, so I hope you do too. And I saw recently that like it came to Amazon Prime, so I was like, oh, this is perfect time.
Perfect.
So
Well, all right. Well, I have never heard of this one either, so it'll be a first-time watch for me.
Yep, me too.
sounds like for everybody but me, which is fine.
Bill Murray, gotta love him. Usually
Yeah,
good
A lot of
in
pressure on you, Tay.
his stuff, so.
I know it's a lot of pressure on me, you know. But I think you'll like this movie. If not, there's something wrong with you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Should I
What?
bring up the average rating on Letterboxd here? Because there might be a
Uh-oh.
lot wrong with a lot of people.
Uh-oh.
It's an average 3.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that's an average rating. It's fine.
Well, we'll see what we feel
I
about
wouldn't
it.
say it's like a masterpiece, but it's a fun movie.
Hey, that's all that matters. We'll see how we stack up against the average viewer. And if you yourself do not want to be spoiled, or if you want to join the conversation for The Man Who Knew Too Little from 1997, make sure you watch that before the next episode airs in 2 weeks. We'll reconvene, talk about the movie, and the fan vote also happens next episode as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Is there anything else anyone wants to say before we end the episode?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Oh. Don't forget
Good.
to clean your feet, I guess.
Yeah, don't forget to clean your feet.
Just
All
clean
right.
yourself, people.
I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with...
Brady Waffles.
To Amation.
Ray of positivity.
And this has been another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.